Hi, I'm Jay Woodwolf, and welcome to Cauldron Brew. Hi, Julie.
Hello.
All right, what is today's topic?
I figured we go over just some of superstitions that and some meanings of different things with Halloween. So I figured just to go over a couple of them since there's quite a bit of them. But what's interesting is quite a few of them I didn't even know about. Even though with the superstitions there are different folk tales and different myths surrounding a lot of like the same thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I had to print it out because there's actually a story that goes with it of jack-o'-lanterns. Have you ever heard of it?
I might have.
The
It's
story
been a
that
long time.
that right that they talk about. It
Well,
says
like I know in England, that area, they would carve turn.
right. Well, yeah, because it says the Celtic folklore tells of the tale of a drunken farmer named Jack who tricked the devil, but his trickery resulted in him being turned away from both the gates of heaven and hell after he died. Having no choice but to wander around the darkness of purgatory, Jack made a lantern from a turnip, excuse me, and burned a lump of coal that the devil tossed at him from hell. Jack, as the story goes, used the lantern to guide his lost soul. The Celts believed that placing jack-o'-lanterns outside would help lost spirits home when they wandered the streets on Halloween. Ori- Originally made using a hollowed out turnip with a small candle inside, jack-o'-lanterns frighten carved faces also to scare evil spirits away. So when the Irish potato famine of 1846 forced a lot of the Irish families to flee to North America, the tradition came with them. And since turnips were hard to come by in the United States, they decided they went with pumpkins. And so when we put pumpkins out with the faces and it being lit up, it helps the souls wandering around the darkness to find their way.
Yep,
But I thought
I've
that was
heard
cool.
that. I didn't
I'd
hear
never heard the story.
a farmer named Jack. I didn't hear the whole story, but I did. It, they did it to the souls back to the other world.
Right. And then there's two of them, which I found interesting. Was one of them was with bats. That a bat is also considered a familiar of a witch. And that a bat, if it flew around your house three times, around Halloween, was an omen that someone was going to die. And if a bat flew into the house, it was what did they say that the spirit let the bat in on
Hmm.
Halloween. So these little things are just neat, but it's the bat, the spider, and the black cat are supposedly from the medieval times familiars of a witch, and they were gifted according to the Catholics because associated with witches and everything that the cats and the spiders and the bats were gifts from the devil
Hmm.
for working with him and everything else. Just like if a spider on this all deals with on Halloween, if a spider falls into the candle and the flame ignites and burns away the spider, it's said that there is a witch nearby. It's one of the myths or the folk tales that they would always say.
Okay, there was.
And
I want to throw in a little bit of about the Irish language. There's two different words to describe magic. One was which the root word of that is dree, which is druid, so react. And then there was another word for witchcraft, which had a hello.
yeah, no, oh, I thought you were gonna get, oh, I didn't know that it was both the same word. I
No,
thought
two
you were
different.
going to keep expanding on it.
No, I don't know
Oh,
the second word. I don't know the
oh,
word for witchcraft in Irish, but there was for magic, and one described druid magic connotation, and the other word
right,
uh, talked about witchcraft or and witches, but it had a very negative kind of.
right. Oh, okay. No, I was just waiting for you to continue. I didn't.
Yeah,
That's
I
why I
don't
was like
know
that.
the Irish. All I knew, I did some studying on it. I'm not Irish literate. Sorry, a few words here and there. That's it. But it's quite interesting
Right,
that in their society, in their language, they actually have two different words for two different types of witchcraft, which had a very negative connotation, and then druid, which was druid magic, which was the.
right. Well, yeah, I can understand that with that different aspects of it. Just like how, in even though it doesn't deal with witches and everything else, but in our language or the English language, how one word can have different meanings or just different things. I don't know where I was going with
They,
that
they had
one.
a
So,
word to describe. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Granted, like our masculine and feminine, just basic he, she, her, him, that kind of thing. But they have masculine and feminine forms. It's
right.
like in
Oh yeah.
Spanish, you have bruja, which is, and then brujo is a male witch. Masculine one's feminine. So in
Right.
other languages,
Yeah.
they have the masculine and the feminine forms, and then
Right. Well,
they
yeah,
had a
yeah. The
word.
different.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. There's do you now this one I of course a lot of these as I stated earlier I didn't know. Do you know the meaning of a cauldron? What it actually originated
well,
from?
in Irish folklore, the Dagda had a cauldron. In Welsh, it was Caradwyn who had the is known as the good goddess. No,
Right. But like that
the White Witch.
right. But the actual cauldron, which I didn't know, which a lot of this stems from the Celts, that after death the souls went into the crone's cauldron, which symbolized the earth's mother's womb.
Mm-hmm.
And while the souls awaited reincarnation, as the goddess was stirring it, new souls would enter it, and the old souls would be let out to be reborn. Which I thought that was really cool, and just how the cauldron, they switched it to make it, scary and everything else for marketing for Halloween nowadays.
The earth, yes.
Yeah, but how with her, stirring it to bring the souls in and let the old souls out if they, to be reborn. I thought that was cool. They didn't say the name of what goddess. They just said in the Celts. So
I haven't heard that.
I have no idea.
But the Dagda was the cauldron of inspiration, and which was in Irish. And then in Wells, they had Caradwyn, and she was a witch goddess.
Right.
Hers was the cauldron of transformation.
Okay. But yeah, I thought that was not a superstition, but that's what I mean by how some of the meanings of different things that deal with Halloween, like with the colors of Halloween, orange and black. I had no idea where they actually originated from, and come to find out, it was from a pagan celebration of autumn and the harvest, to where the orange symbolized the crops and the turning of the leaves, while the black was the death and the end of the summer. So they, over time, they just added the colors in. But I thought that was really interesting that that's what the original colors were, orange and black, way back when. and what they represented.
Yep.
So I thought that was
Halloween
cool.
or Samhain, what was actually that's when they finished cleaning up the fields.
Well, for them,
it was the last harvest.
right? You
for
know,
them.
because yeah, for them, because there's other ones for, but it's just interesting. You know, those are the ones that I grasp because there was other ones for trick or treating, which we all know. We went over that in the other podcast, and the reason why costumes and witches. I was sitting there thinking about talking about witches, but that would have to be its own podcast, like its own separate thing, because the information is so vast and there's so many different forms of it, especially from way back that my son found, because he knows with him being Norse, there's actual stuff that he found that dates back in the 10th century, this part, to where the Norse would use a witch to cast magic against their one part of their enemy. I don't know the full story of it, but how it was dated back. I figured, that one, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to get into how far back I wanted to go, because I didn't want to do, as our one friend mentioned, the modern witches. I wanted more. I like to dig deep when I do my research and go to the parts that most don't hear about, because there's so much on YouTube and different areas of social media that talks about witches and the different things of witchcraft. I wanted, if to talk about it, I wanted to do what most wouldn't know, that has the research to back it, because that would take a long time of digging that up, which is doable, but lately I haven't been able to have the time to sit down to really dig deep,
Right.
because to do that, I'd want to do it justice and not just a little snippet here or there. So, but those are just some of the superstitions that I came across that I had no idea about, besides, because, we've heard about the black cats and everything else. But dealing with the Halloween one, there's so many superstitions. I thought talking about those ones, most people wouldn't know about, or you really don't hear much about those ones, with like the meaning of the cauldron or the story of the jack-o'-lantern and how that all came about, because that's their story.
Our live stream is doing some funny things. Let me go grab my phone and take.
Okay.
So, it looks fine on my end. Oh wait, no, my image quality sucks.
Oh, I thought it was just my computer, because it normally is, for me seeing you.
I don't know what's going on.
Could it be the weather with your internet? Because I know sometimes, like with mine, that has a big play in it.
Maybe. I don't know. We're having some technical issues here. At least I am this time.
Right. Right. Well, I'm done with my thing, what I brought up with what I wanted to talk about.
It's interesting.
I figured that was it.
This time of year is actually when the veil is thin between the worlds.
actually with all the world, with all the realms, is the thinnest. Beside not just the death or the spirit realm, the underworld, or however you want to call it, all the other realms, the veil is thinning. And then from, oh, I want to say a couple days before Halloween is when all the realms veil is down.
What other realm?
So the Fae, there's the Fae realm and all those that coincide with, because that's when it's the easiest for them to come over. That's where around that time, most times what I've read so far, I still got to do more digging, is with changelings, when they would kidnap babies or they would even kidnap women. So it's to where, but yeah, with there's quite a few different realms out there that the veil is thinning. It's just not the spirit realm. I just got to look up to it because I was reading it like a week ago about all the different realms that are with the veil is just not the one. So it's always interesting when you go down rabbit holes of how far you can go.
I didn't realize there was
But I
many
work with all
realms.
that stuff. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, there is.
Well,
I don't have anything
further, do you?
Nope. Right up to it.
So-
Okay, well, we can cut this one short tonight.
Yeah.
in our straight
Anyway, and my
for some reason.
reason. I don't know what the hell that's about.
I have no idea.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for sharing. I don't know what I was saying.
Well, we'll see you all next week.
There you go.
Bye.